Hello, Mobile Mustang parents and students, and welcome to Back to School. I am Mark Johnson. I will be teaching 6th, 7th, and 8th grade social studies this year, and I'll be introducing myself in the upcoming slides here. Normally, when we have Back to School night, there's a lot of parent questions, and so we'll be answering a lot of the most common questions in the slides ahead. And hopefully, we can make this year as successful as possible, and hopefully better than the way these guys are going right now.
So welcome Mobile Mustang social studies parents, and these are going to be the most common questions that usually get asked. Of course, the biggest one that is probably unique to this year is what is going to be happening this year, even though it's online. Well, just one of the things I want to let you know is Mobile Mustangs still have heart. So we are going to be at this focus of honesty, effort, achievement, respect, and teamwork. That will still not be lost, even if it's mobile or in person. Just be aware of that. But the most common question I get over the last 26 years is, who are you? What are you doing here? This is my 26th year of teaching. You can see my family over there on the right. A Bronco fan, a Rocky fan, a movie fan, a coffee fan, a Pepsi fan. My goodness, there's so much about it. But I loved getting into teaching. Started my years in Collegeville, Minnesota, where I went to St. John's University. And I was lucky enough to get hired into Colorado right out of college. And so I'm a Golden native growing up, and I'm really happy to be at Manning. The next question is probably going to be, what's my eighth grader learning this year? So we are going to be doing early U.S. history. So we will not be getting into strictly current events, but all of these are related. We are going to spend a good portion of this semester talking about how, we talk about there's a great division in the United States now, sure, but there has always been division. And we talked about early in the colonial days, we talked about the loyalists versus the patriots. And it will lead to the Revolutionary War and the building of a new constitution. We did fail initially with that. So we had to remake the Constitution, and we can learn from that experience. We will be talking about the U.S. elections this year. I will not be asking your children to share anything that they don't feel comfortable with the class. And I don't expect your children to take a side in this year's election, but I do want them to be knowledgeable about what decisions adults have to take with that. So I would appreciate it if you are an eighth grade, seventh grade, or sixth grade parent, certainly talking with your children about that, because I will be covering elections in all of the grade levels. We will be covering the westward expansion. The Civil War will be happening, unfortunately, this year, and Reconstruction, what happened at the end. And of course, it'll be followed up. Every Monday will be current events, and we'll talk about, is there a connection between the past and today? And that's going to be the focus of the eighth grade. For the seventh graders, the focus is going to be on the Eastern Hemisphere, geography and history, where the start of civilization began and people moved out, and we had some amazingly great cultures that might still exist. And what can we learn from them? We're going to learn about their economics, their government formation, and how are those used in the West today. And of course, modern impacts and current events. And yes, we will be taking time to focus on the United States elections, so we won't leave that behind. The sixth graders are going to be focused on the Western Hemisphere, and that has to do with a lot of the mapping skills and being the literacy of maps, of reading maps and making maps. We're going to be focused on the economics, and early cultures. Maya, Inca, Aztecs were the major ones in the Western Hemisphere, and we're going to talk about their contributions to our current society. Economics, the past couple of years, we've been able to go to international town. Obviously, with COVID and everything being shut down, I don't know if that's going to be a possibility this year. We are scheduled to go in 2021 right now, early 2021, but we will keep you updated about that's going to happen. If not, then we'll be teaching economics a different way. And then, of course, we'll be talking about European exploration and colonization of the Western Hemisphere. Why did people come over here? What was the attraction with it? And of course, modern impacts and current events, and of course, the United States election. So please feel free to talk with your children about your feelings and opinions and see where their feelings and opinions are. That'd be a good one to go. How can I support my child? Well, I do believe that allowing them to fail is a good thing. Allowing them to drown is not a good thing. So if they are flailing around a little bit, that's perfectly okay. Some stress is okay. Distress is not. So education is a right. Learning is certainly a responsibility, especially when you're working at home, either by yourself completely or with reasonable limits within a pod or whatever it might be. So I like to put that on the kids of it is your job to do the assignments when you need to do that. The kids this year have been doing an amazing job with it for the most part. We've had very little people being absent or not turning in assignments, and they're doing those pretty quickly. So I appreciate that. I will be using Google Classroom, just like all the other teachers here. And so don't use Google Classroom for the grades as much, but this is where everything else is going to be. So, the learning slides, the resources, the videos, everything will be found in Google Classroom. I will use some other sites occasionally, but there will be links with those inside of Google Classroom. And then the children have been doing a great job of advocating for themselves, asking for help, and I appreciate you pushing them to do that. If you feel like there's something that I need to know from a parental view, please let me know about that. If you think your child is really struggling or you have some questions, I'm open to that. But if your child is saying, I don't know how to do this, then let's, get them to learn how to ask those questions, because that's a skill they're going to need in high school and beyond. And then, of course, please checking your children's extensions every week in their Chromebook is going to be huge. There is a link to how to do that in my stream page on Google Classroom. If you need it, I can also email it to you. The extensions and the extra apps or the extra websites that might be open on your Chromebook might be causing issues. And so we appreciate your help in staying on top of that. Some point you are going to be gone. Are they going to miss anything? That usually comes up every time. Yeah, of course they are. We're doing school every day, even if it's asynchronous or synchronous. So the good news, like it says here, is that the mobile Mustangs can be anywhere that there is Wi-Fi. So if you're going into a deep jungle, well, then you have a legitimate week off. If you are planning on taking your children to a different state, I'm pretty sure they have Wi-Fi and they will be expected to keep up with things. However, if there is an excused absence for whatever reason, they have 2 days for every day that they are absent to make up the work. However, you do not want your kids to fall too far behind. So like a week off is a lot to ask. They do get 2 weeks to make that up, but they're missing a lot. And because we have very limited time to actually meet with a teacher online, it's going to be very difficult in all of their classes to make those things up and then they will pretty much have to do them on their own. They will have access to Google Classroom and slides, but they won't have that personal attention or be able to ask questions as easily as they would in a regular classroom. I will not be emailing you or if anybody misses one class or one assignment or things like that, but you can absolutely check on Infinite Campus. That's where the grades are going to be. So yes, Google Classroom is where the assignments will be, and there are grades in there, but the grades that are in Google Classroom, the overall averaging does not always match with with Infinite Campus, excuse me. So there'll be times when I do projects using other websites or for essays or make a movie that has nothing to do with Google Classroom. So use Infinite Campus to see what is missing and what has been scored. Your child can make up missing assignments and redo poor assignments, but I will grade those after I have graded the ones that are turned in on time. So be aware that if your child turns in a late assignment on Sunday night, I will not be checking it in and saying that it's turned in on Sunday night. So your child can email me or you can check in with me at any point if you choose to. But just know that if it's an excused absence, and that could be because of Wi-Fi issues, or that could be because maybe the Chromebook is also having issues, please call into the attendance office. An excused absence or will allow 2 days of extra work or extra time to do the work if needed be. If there is no parent that calls into the attendance office, it will be considered late, and the child will lose 10% of their total. So they can still earn up to 90%, which is an A- on an assignment. But if they're excused because of an issue, then they earn full credit. Okay, now I know you probably have some other questions than the ones I've presented here, and I appreciate your time in going through this. So please use the comment section below down below in YouTube here. I will do my best to respond to those. I will be looking over those the next couple of days. You are also welcome to reach out to me via email if you have any other questions. If you have a concern about your child in particular, or if you're thinking, things are going great, I love to hear those comments. I really appreciate the people who are able to email me with positive things, with questions that they have, and also maybe some concerns that they have. Some parents have emailed with some suggestions of how to make online learning a little bit better. I appreciate those as well. Know that your Mobile Mustangs team of Mr. Fulton, Ms. Cahill, Ms. Edoff, myself, the core group, we get together every week and we talk about ways that we can improve our status as well, improve our teaching ability as well. So any suggestions or compliments that you have, please let us know those. And I hope to meet you very soon. It'd be great to meet you guys in person. And I hope you have a great rest of the night.